From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
Well, we're finally in the thick of that heat wave we've been talking about all week long, and you know what? This heat wave is going to continue as we take you into really your Sunday and Monday, a bit of a transition day. Still pretty hot on Monday, but temperatures will really start to plummet after that. So again, the heat wave continues on Sunday. By the way, I was talking about some monsoon moisture creeping on in for parts of Northern California, really all of Northern California by around Sunday night into Monday, even into Tuesday. And that is going to bring the potential for some thunderstorms. Now, this is mainly going to be a Sunday night event, and it could be including portions of the valley and parts of the mountains as well. We'll take a look at on Futurecast here in just a second, but not as hot next week. Again, we're talking about temperatures dropping. Now, we still have the heat advisory and the excessive heat warnings here for all the areas in red and orange here, but those will expire as we go into Monday. So your valley forecast for your Sunday, yeah, another hot day. Temperatures most likely over 110 degrees for most of us, with the exception of Chico, with a high of about 108 degrees. And taking a look at the mountains, topping out somewhere around 100 degrees. Some of us in the mountains could also break some records here for your Sunday before those temperatures do start to drop going into next week. Here's the overall trend. So remember I was talking about Monday being that transition day, especially in the valley. So we're 111 on Sunday. Not a very big drop on Monday, so still quite hot even for your Monday, but we're dropping back down at least closer to normal through next week. But I expect to stay above normal, but I also expect to stay below that 110 degree mark. So we're going to kind of hover around the 102 to 105 range here through most of next week. So that heat retreating back to the south and east thanks to this cooler air here, kind of pushing it down to the south and east. And as I've been mentioning here, we're essentially watching heat with the big ridge of high pressure and the cooler air with the low pressure kind of have this tug of war. So at some points the heat wins out and we see temperatures increase as a result. At other points the cooler air wins out and our temperatures at least begin to drop. And that's what we're seeing here through next week. We see this cooler air just kind of lingering around through next week and even into next weekend. And that's going to prevent this heat, even though it's going to be building, it's going to prevent it from building right on top of us. And as a result, we just don't see any major heat waves heading our way. Now, remember I was again talking about that monsoon moisture coming in. We've got this clockwise flow around this big ridge of high pressure, which is centered right about here. You got that clockwise flow around that, and that's helping to transport some of that monsoon moisture in. So as a result, what I think is going to happen is we are going to start to see chances for thunderstorms in the forecast. But through the day on Sunday, I think we're going to be okay. We're just going to be looking at some passing high clouds. It's going to be another sunny day, and not to mention a very hot day as well. But watch what happens as we go into Sunday night. Look at this. We're actually starting to see some thunderstorms in the forecast, including the valley. But this is going to be an overnight event. I think when most of us are asleep, you may hear some rumbles of thunder for some of us in the valley. Now notice, it kind of cuts itself off right around Trinity County westward. So I think the chances for thunderstorms for Trinity County, not to mention parts of the North Coast and even Siskiyou County, most likely won't see much of this. I think most of it will be in Modoc County and in the eastern mountains, and of course not to mention off in the valley. But that's Monday morning at 3 a.m. As we go into Monday afternoon, Monday morning, really at 8 a.m., it's all pretty much gone and will be dry through the day on Monday, and not to mention all of next week as well. So that monsoon moisture, it comes in, makes it feel a bit more muggy than normal, and gives us the chance for thunderstorms, and then it moves right on out. Now, Sunday is the last day, of course, the Trinity County Fair with a high of 106 degrees. So still a very hot day if you are planning on heading out to the Trinity County Fair on Sunday. Let's take a look at your forecast for tonight. It's going to be a mild night, only dropping down into the mid-70s on average for the valley, and for the mountains in the 50s and some 60s in there as well. Not to mention about 64 degrees for Wairika, 61 for Mount Shasta City. And for your Sunday, yeah, there it is. Most of us about 110 degrees or higher, although places like Chico, Oroville, and Willows about 106 to 108. And even for the mountains, we're talking mid to upper 90s to just right around 100 degrees for those daytime highs. One of the warmer spots will be Susanville with 102, and there you can see Quincy about 99 degrees. So your 7-day forecast, kind of region by region here, still very hot. I have included the chance for thunderstorms for Sunday night, early Monday morning for Alturas and Susanville, but not so much for Mount Shasta City. Temperatures do drop though. We're down to the low to mid 90s here for Mount Shasta, not to mention Alturas, and in the mid to upper 90s for Susanville. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast for the valley, I've included the chance for mountain thunderstorms here for Sunday night and early Monday morning. Again, most of us will be asleep when it's happening. Temperatures still quite hot on Monday, but we do expect to see those temperatures drop just a bit as we take you through next week. So overall, looks like it's going to continue to be fairly hot in the valley, but at least we're breaking away from 110 degree plus.